This is section P.4, all about polynomials. Remember, at the conclusion of the video, please make sure you read through the supplemental notes for more examples. Let's begin with the definition of degree. The degree of a polynomial is the highest exponent. Let's take a look at the example. 6x cubed plus 2x to the fourth minus 3x plus 5. X to the fourth, 4 being the highest exponent in this polynomial, so my degree is 4. Next, let's take a look at the definition for leading coefficient. The leading coefficient is the number in front of the highest exponent. So for this example, our highest exponent was x to the fourth. The number in front of that is 2. Next, let's look at adding and subtracting polynomials. Remember, when we add and subtract, we are going to put together like terms. So let's take a look at the first example. 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 plus x plus 3. So I have 2x squared plus 3x plus x. So these two guys are like terms. And then I have plus 1 and plus 3. Those two are like terms. And so final solution, I have 2x squared plus 4x plus 4. Let's take a look at subtraction. Subtraction is the one we have to be more careful with. Remember, if we have something after the subtraction that's in parentheses, we need to distribute this negative first. So it's going to say 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 minus x squared plus 1. And now let's put together the things that are like terms. So I have 2x squared and minus x squared go together. Just a 3x by itself. And then I have a positive 1 and plus 1 go together. And so all of that put together, I have x squared plus 3x plus 2. Next, let's take a look at multiplying polynomials. I have negative 8x to the sixth times 5x cubed. Again, don't forget the exponent rules we've done in previous sections. So let's multiply the leading coefficients. That's negative 8 times 5. That'll give me negative 40. And then x to the sixth times x cubed. When my bases are the same, my exponents are going to add, and I'm going to get x to the 9. Next, let's multiply 2x plus 3 times x squared plus 4x plus 5. So we have what we call a binomial, something that has 2 terms, multiplying by a trinomial, something that has 3 terms. And so to do this, everything is going to multiply each other one time. So I'm going to start with the 2x, and I'm going to distribute that to all 3 terms on the trinomial. And I'm going to multiply. So 2x times x squared, that is going to be 2x cubed. 2x times 4x, that is positive 8x squared. And 2x times 5 is 10x. Now I'm going to repeat with the 3. I'm going to distribute that everywhere into my trinomial. And so I'm going to get plus 3x squared plus 12x plus 15. And let's put all of these guys together, the like terms. So the only thing cubed is 2x cubed. And then I got 8x squared plus 3x squared. So that's going to be, positive 11x squared. Then I have 10x plus 12x, so that's 22x. And then I just have a 15, so plus 15, and that is my solution. Next, let's look at foiling, something I've mentioned in the previous video. Foiling is an acronym for helping us multiply, and it stands for first, outside, inside, and last. And that's how we're going to do this example multiplying. Starting with f, 3x times 4x is 12x squared. Next is outside. So that's the 3x and the 5, that's my O. So 3x times 5 is positive 15x. Next, I'm going to do inside, so the closest two terms, that's my I. 2 times 4x, that is 8x. And then we've got last, 2 times 5. So that's plus 10. And adding that all together, combining my like terms, I got 12x squared plus 23x plus 10. Next, let's take a look at some special cases. The first one, the product of the sum and difference of two terms. So that's if I have a plus b times a minus b. I can FOIL like I normally would, FOIL, like the previous example, or like we did when we were rationalizing fractions in the last video. Our O and I are going to cancel out when we FOIL, and we're going to be left with just a squared minus b squared. The square of a binomial sum, that is a plus b squared, that is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Or we can remember what something squared means. It means it's writing itself twice, and then we can FOIL. The same with the square of a binomial difference, a minus b squared. The formula is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, or we can write it twice and FOIL. Let's take a look at some examples. 4y plus 3 times 4y minus 3. Again, I can use the formula, or if you don't want to memorize the formula, then we can FOIL like normal. So f, we're going to get 16y squared, O minus 12y, inside I plus 12y, and L last minus 9. As you can see, our inside O and I terms are going to cancel out. I'm left with 16y squared minus 9. Let's take a look at the next example, x plus 3 squared. Again, you can use the formula, or what does something squared mean? It means write it twice and FOIL. I'm going to get x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9, which is x squared plus 6x plus 9. Let's look at the difference, x minus 4 squared. Again, I could use the other formula or write it twice and FOIL. That's going to be x squared minus 4x plus 16. Gathering like terms, I have x squared minus 8x plus 16. So, what does x minus 2 cubed mean? Something cubed means I write the base 3 times. So this is going to be equal to x minus 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2. Now, of course, we can only multiply two things at a time, going from left to right. So let's look at the first two. First, FOILing, I get x squared minus 2x plus 4. All that times this x minus 2 I drop down. Let's gather like terms in the middle first. That's going to be x squared minus 4x plus 4, all multiplied by the x minus 2. So I took care of that. Next. Alright, and now I have a trinomial times a binomial again, so I'm going to distribute one guy at a time. So I have x cubed minus 2x squared. Multiplying the next one, I have minus 4x squared plus 8x. And the last one distributed, I got plus 4x minus 8. And now I can gather like terms and write my final answer. So I have x cubed minus 6x squared plus 12x minus 8. So as you can see, multiplying 3 polynomials is difficult. So if you want to cube a binomial, we have two formulas. A plus b cubed is equal to a cubed plus 3a squared times b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. It is a difficult formula to remember, so you can either write it out 3 times in FOIL or you can memorize the formula. And again, the one for a minus b cubed is equal to a cubed minus 3a squared times b plus 3 times a times b squared minus b cubed.